Here we go again. See, yesterday was the 23rd, 24th, 25th. Today's the 26th. Interesting. Let's see, so it's Monday. We have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 4 days. I think Friday is the last day of the month. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look it up. Crazy. So anybody watching this knows this, my little podcast that I have committed to doing is really for myself to look back and see if I've actually accomplished anything. Because at my age, which is now 61, I have accumulated a lot of knowledge and want people to be able to look back on it and go, you know, if they want someday, and be able to look and be like, whoa, okay, I did not know that. You know? So going back, I've often thought about writing a book. I do want to write a book. I don't have time to write a book. In case if you watched my previous podcasts, I'm an accountant. I am engaged at this level in my life at doing forensic accounting. People often ask me, oh no, a bunch of dead banana trees. Look at that. Okay. Ooh, they got too much. Can you see them? That's banana trees. Yeah, they got too much frost on them. They can be recovered though. Anyway, so, you know, I've started out a few years ago because I was trying to figure out how far back people's memories go. I'm interested. I'm curious in nature. And I found that some friends of mine's memories go back to the crib. Mine doesn't go back that far. Mine goes back to Easter egg hunting, my first time of Easter egg hunting, way far back. And throughout my entire life, I have focused part of my energy in my brain on remembering the things I don't want to forget. And so, but 60 plus years later, I'm like, what? I've forgotten a lot, even though I don't know so much if it's forgotten or put it away to bring it out again at another time. How well does the brain work? Ooh, for rent. What is it? Always looking for a house to rent. But not right now. Can't do it. Got things to accomplish on my list. So, one of, you know, the things that I'm trying to accomplish is the podcast, or this little vlog, which is going to happen once a day until I forget and don't want to do it anymore or whatever. It's becoming quite easy. It's a habit. All habits have to be formed. Good habits get formed. Bad habits get formed. All habits get formed. You aren't just born with it. If you were born with it, it wouldn't be a habit. It would be an instinct. There's a difference. Words matter. Anyway, so this is day number 3 of the vlog. I've lost track of the date. It doesn't matter about that either. But going back to the memorization of things, it was the very first Easter egg hunt. And I was talking to my mom about it. My mom being Lilladine Bruckner. Lilladine Bruckner is my stepmother. Loved her. She, you know, basically picked me up at the age of about 1 year and took on my brother and myself when she married my dad, who was Tom Hill. And she was a very, very formative. Both my mothers were very formative in my life. I've lost both of them, one sooner than the other. One last year. Lilladine Bruckner I lost last year. But she was there through all the milestones of my life and knew more about me than my own mother did, who was a drug addict. So, yeah. So my first memory when I was talking to her was about Easter egg hunt, and she said to me, "Oh, that must have been Baldwin Park." It's like, okay, to look that up. Baldwin Park is definitely in Los Angeles. That's all I remember really about that moment in time. Moving forward from there, I remember when we moved to Bessemer Street in Van Nuys. And from that point on, I remember a lot. I remember a lot of things from that point forward. At one point when I was quite young, I'd have been 6 or 7, at the beginning of school. It was the beginning of school. Somebody at school, Irwin Street School, recognized that I was not a usual child. Uh-oh, that's weird. Oh, that's my hand. Don't memorize my handprint. Anyways, I was an unusually gifted child. That's what they said. I was an unusually gifted child, and they sent me to classes, special classes in California called MGM, the Mentally Gifted Minds. And so, that might have been more around 5th grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, something like that. Anyways, so that was a journey that I began in educating, and honestly, I don't know if it's because of my curiosity in general, because I am very curious in nature, but I foster that curiosity. I grow that curiosity. I love knowledge. I love reading. I love taking in more information. I love science. I was talking to people. There's different types of people. Some are very artistic. Then some are very scientific. I'm the scientific. I'm an analytical human being. Analytics. I want facts. I want things that can be proved. I'm not a fantasy-driven human being. I want knowledge that is factual. So, but on the other side of me, there's a creative part. I went and did some painting yesterday, some creative painting, but my OCD kicked in. It's like, oh no. I get 5 squares to paint. So my comedian goes straight to excellent, 5 squares, so 25, right? I get 25 squares. Then my OCD kicks in, and I am painting every single number 2 that can be shown through the paint that was on there previously, and I'm basically repairing somebody else's painting. And they let me. That was the wonderful thing. They just let me do it. So, anyways, on my way back to work again after the great failure of the weekend. Ooh, I just saw some cactus pears. Yeah. On my way back to work, I will explain what I'm doing for work. I am a forensic accountant. I have been hired by a man who somebody stole a copious amount of money from. And my job at this point is to find out how much money. It's an incredible mystery. Nobody can nail it down. Nobody can figure out what happened. And the scary part to me, I've done this now for several years, the scary part to me is sometimes it's the owner of the company that was setting himself up. I don't know. But I do know this. I'm there for the long haul until they kick me out, until I find somebody that was the criminal. I know the name of the criminal now. I have his phone number. I've collected a lot of data on him. But what I don't have is the evidence. I have to have the evidence. statements, and unbelievable in this day and age. Oh, so frustrating. It's so, on a daily basis, my level of frustration goes skyrockets because banks are, everything's digital, everything's online, every corporation is choking you around your neck. Everybody wants a dime. They're bleeding you out penny by penny. They don't care. They cut off the pennies recently. Now they're bleeding you out nickel by nickel. Yeah. So the banks at this point, I have one bank I will never use. I'm very particular about the banks that I work with. This one bank, oh my God, I gotta fix my hair. This one bank, so frustrating. They literally, after 1 year of time, drop your statements off. Oh, and I've spoken to them. They're like, oh, well, we're hooked up to the federal. I don't care. Okay? If you're dropping people's financial information off at 1 year, it's out of the ordinary, because at the very least, most common banks will do 2 years. But beyond that, they store the information. This bank is not storing it and then demanding money to get it back. And I said something to the CEO of the bank basically and got scolded because I was so upset about this. And I told him flat out, this is out of the ordinary. This is not normal. Why are you charging people? They were trying to charge me for bank statements back in 2024. This was in 2025. And I'm like, no, I'm trying to reconstruct this company's accounting, and you're making it impossible and then charging me to do it. No, nope, don't work with that bank. I will name them in the future, but I am in the middle of this project, and I have I cannot say things that I'd like to say, but in the future I'll say them anyways, because, as far as I'm concerned, protect yourself from these predatory actions, especially from the banks. Anyway, so I'm on my work. It's Monday, Monday, the 26th, 27th, 28th. It's that Monday in between there of 2026. I will throw this up. I have more thoughts about the situation, but I am going to, again, commit to what I'm doing. Besides this and changing my eating habits, which has been horrible, I'm doing keto, back to doing keto again, but I'm learning, and you should endeavor to learn more every single day. Don't focus on what you cannot do. Focus on what you can do. Move forward and try to learn a new thing every day. So, what's my new thing that I've learned today already? I'm trying intermittent fasting. And what I did learn is to pile all your fats up in the morning and then start your intermittent fasting later on in the day. The new thing now is not 18, it's 12. I don't know. They change it so often. They update it, they make changes, but we're gonna try and stay to either the 12 or the 18. I'll tell you what I decided tomorrow. This is Heather Hill, and I am checking out on this day in January 2026. I'll upload this video and get on with my life, and I will be chatting with you tomorrow. Peace out.